Yeah. Well, how about that Italian team that won the cup the other day? That was pretty nice, right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Viva Italia, Forza Italia. Yeah, that was amazing. Young team came out, didn't qualify for the World Cup before. That was a different team, but yeah, that was
That was a
amazing. Yeah, they
fun
were not
tournament.
favored to win either.
So things are really well here in Atlantic City. I think the last time we talked, we were making our plans for a busy summer season, and boy, uh, volume of business has exceeded my expectations. So Atlantic City's doing quite well. The summer of 21 and resorts is doing very well as well. So we're really pleased with the business volume so far.
Good. Now everything's open, right? Everything's wide open there. There's
Yeah,
no.
we're wide open. Yeah, everything's back to normal. Our layouts on the casino floor and our table games, the plexiglass is down. Our restaurants are wide open. Our beach bar, everything is wide open.
Mark, do you think that this surge in business, do you think that it's going to continue, or do you think we're going to level out here at some point?
Well, it's a very good question. I mean, I think Atlantic City is being benefited by the regionalness of our business and our location. So maybe as air service picks up, we might lose a little traction. But I will tell you, I think that we've introduced a whole new level of customer to our property, and I think people that maybe would have visited Atlantic City 2 or 3 times a year are now, seeing it as a multiple trip location, and we're seeing that in our database. People are more frequent here, and I think the city in general has done a very good job. I think resorts has done an excellent job in focusing on, ensuring that people feel safe when they come here, even though things are wide open. So we're very cognizant of that, and our cleanliness procedures and so forth. So I think it's going to be sustainable for quite some time.
Now, you mentioned that there was a whole new group of people that you introduced to the casino. Are you talking about regional people that were not coming before? They were forced to come because of the pandemic, and now they're coming back. Is that
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I think, people within a 3 to 5 mile, 3 to 5 hour drive, I think are coming more frequently. We're growing our new database at levels we haven't done in quite some time.
And what's the demo of these customers? Are they the same demo that you had as your normal customers that were coming in before?
It's a cross section of all demographics, and statistically, it's a cross section. But what we're finding is the quality of player is been enhanced. So from a previous loyal player, they're playing at slightly higher levels, and the new customers, as it related to new customers a couple of years ago, they're certainly playing at higher levels as well.
Right. So are you saying that your normal players and your new players are bumping up a tier or a couple of tiers?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing that
Wow.
customers are they're more frequent, so they're playing more, and they are bumping up a little bit.
So what do you attribute that to? Is that just pent up demand, or is that like a change in the way people are seeing their vacations or looking at the casinos?
I think it's some pent up demand. I think there's more disposable income in folks' pockets. And again, I just think, people who maybe haven't been exposed to this market or have visited it during the pandemic and like what they saw. I think the execution of the COVID protocols, I hate to bring it up again, but they were very well executed in Atlantic City and at resorts. And I think people realize that. And to be honest with you, the history of Atlantic City is when you get a customer to Atlantic City and they stay at resorts, they become loyal customers. The key is to get them to Atlantic City. And I think the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, it helped the city and the businesses in the city.
So is this like a turning point, you think, for Atlantic City? Because, as we know, Atlantic City was built on the day trippers, right? And they were always trying to make that transition to what you're talking about right now. Has the pandemic helped that?
I think in general, and you could speak to this across the country, businesses in general have learned to operate their businesses differently. And there's no difference here in Atlantic City and at resorts. Take, for example, outdoor dining. We had a component of outdoor dining, the Capriccio veranda, which would overlook the ocean, but we expanded our outdoor dining footprint. So that's going to be, a go forward consistent product that we'll offer. And, the city in itself, it used to be you could not take a drink out onto the boardwalk. Now the city has permitted the casinos to consumers to take their drinks out onto the boardwalk and navigate the boardwalk. So all of that, came from as a result of the COVID.
Yeah, and it seems to me like you're edging more towards kind of like the Vegas rules, right? Where you can take your drink anywhere. You have all the outdoor dining. It's almost like the everybody's kind of like made concessions because of the pandemic, and now that's kicking in and getting more people in, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly, I mean, there's many other examples, but the drinking on the boardwalk was a big one. I mean, you used to be able to, we'd have to stop our customers if they wanted to walk out on a beautiful day with their beer. They
Yeah,
weren't able to do that. So it's helped a lot.
yeah, that's a huge thing. And in Vegas, everybody
Yeah.
drinks everywhere, so it's like
Yeah, right.
it doesn't matter where you are. People get in cars with drinks. It's like, yeah, you got to
Well,
be able to do that.
I'm
It's
not sure about that one.
well, the passengers. I've seen that
Yeah,
before.
of
The
course.
passengers, yeah, not the drivers.
Right.
But yeah, I think that people really like that, especially because you guys have such an incredible boardwalk, and you
Yeah.
have an incredible vibe there. It just adds to the whole entertainment factor. Mark, so in terms of the hiring issues, are you still having those there?
We've navigated that pretty well. We knew we were going to have issues hiring, and I think the team here has done an outstanding job. I mean, I could tell you, I feel like we've navigated that a lot better than other properties and other businesses. I was in a restaurant outside of a casino about a week ago, and half the tables were empty because they didn't have the staff to service those tables. That's not happening at resorts. And I think it has to do with the loyalty we get from our employees. This is very much a family-run business, and I think our employees feel that way. And as a result, we've been able to keep our employees employed and not had too burdensome of a issue with hiring. So, I mean, we have a little bit, but nothing major.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head, Mark. I think culture and that atmosphere that the employees are appreciated. That whole idea of the ecosystem of where you work is much more important now than it ever was, right?
Well, it is. I mean, it's the bread and butter of success. I mean,
Yeah.
and those that don't, feel that way, I'm sure, won't be long lived.
Mark, from where you're looking at now, from a bird's eye view, do you feel good about everything that's happening? Is there anything you could see in the horizon that might upset what's going on?
Well, let's focus on the positive. I mean, we have our convention business coming back, our catering business coming back. That was, that went to a big zero in 2020 and was really restricted in 21. But beginning in the fall and into 2022, we're starting to see our business bounce back. So that'll be phenomenal for us. Look, there is always in the back of my mind, these different variants that have me a little concerned. But I think if, we take this COVID pandemic seriously, I've been vaccinated. About 78% of our employees have been vaccinated. That really keeps everybody healthy. And I hope that, that's the trend going forward. And we don't have to deal with any resurgence of these variants.
I would agree with you 100%. And I think that the red flags they're fading. Every day that we go by and we chip away at all this stuff, and our business is coming back like amazingly well. And like you said, the key's going to be back, that catering, the convention business. That's the cherry on the cake. Mark, great seeing you. Great having you back on, and looking forward to having you back. And Forza Italia.
Sì, grazie. Ciao.